Welcome, everybody, to a special edition of the effing title. It's episode 225. And this time, of course, this is a fantastic time of year. It's March Madness. And with that, means one thing, and one thing only. Rob gets to walk me through all the picks, and I get to be an idiot. Morning, Rob.
Good morning.
Now, the special thing here is that Rob doesn't realize I've watched at least 5 hours worth of content about this already.
It won't make you any better.
So I'm still going to be an idiot, but I'm going to know a little bit of things.
I'm excited. I'm excited to hear what you know.
So what I know is just teams. I don't remember exactly what they said. But I have written down a list here.
I just know that Akron made it.
I have a list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They gave me 7 teams that they were talking about that I was also honestly probably going to pick anyway. But I have 7 teams that at least first round I'm solid for. But I think to start off, we'll start in the East. Right? I think everyone starts in the East. We'll start in the East. I'm going UConn. I'm not even questioning.
Oh, you're not picking the playing games first?
No, because it doesn't have it on there.
I know you don't get the choice, but just make sure when we go to the ones with the play-in teams, you
Let's say both.
Write down which team you're thinking.
Okay. I can do that.
You don't lose points or gain points for it, but it helps everybody understand your thought process because I know I picked one, and if they don't win the play-in game, it doesn't matter.
Okay. Well,
although statistically, since the play-in game, one play-in team has made the Sweet 16 every year. And it's not the 16 seeds.
Interesting. So I'm going to go UConn. I think that's kind of an obvious, honestly. FAU Northwestern, 8 versus 9. I'm going FAU.
Yeah, I mean, that one makes sense. FAU, at the beginning of the year, was a top 10 team. And yes, they had a huge run last year in the tournament. So you'd think experience would take them. I honestly have not seen a single game of Northwestern basketball. So
well, I'm looking right here. Notable results. I mean, like, beat the Aggies 96-89, beat the Hokies, Virginia Tech Hokies 84-50, beat Liberty 38-58. But then, like, they lost to Illinois.
There's also this other thing too that I value way more.
Yes.
Because a lot of people go through and they look at, like, oh, big games. As far as I'm concerned, it's important to get into the tournament, but I don't look at or give a rat's ass about any game you played.
Okay.
Before January 20th.
Fair.
I'm going to look at your last 20th. Month and a half.
Okay, so SMU, they beat 80-70. Then they lost at Memphis 78-74, but then they went back to Memphis like 2 weeks later, or they played Memphis again 2 weeks later and won 92-84.
So yeah, I mean, this could be a game, but there are just so many teams that beat people in like the first week of the season, and you're like, so what?
Yeah.
Like, who cares? Like Gonzaga sucked at the beginning of the year, and then all of a sudden they were on fire until they ran into St. Mary's in the championship game, but there are a lot of teams that, especially tournaments like this, did they catch fire? Like, if they caught fire and they were all of a sudden blowing teams out, you look at St. Peter's last year, like, that team just caught fire. And all of a sudden, you get a little faith in the tournament and anybody can win a game. But yeah, sorry, go on.
So, now we're on number 5, San Diego State, number 12, UAB. Originally, I was going to pick UAB. But now looking at some things, I don't think I'm going to pick UAB.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, San Diego State's not the team they've been the last 2 years.
Fair.
Graduated a lot of people. But again, usually in this tournament, unless that team that they're playing is, again, like on a huge hot streak, or if they've got if they have one dude on their team.
Yeah.
Remember when Bryant had like that 40-point score or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, all right, they got one dude, and if he goes off, like, there's nothing that can be done.
Yes.
But if they're just a team,
well, like Also, I'm like, because like they have the notable results, and they have a little like these are the top players and all this stuff right on here. So I'm looking through all this, but it's like I look at notable results for San Diego State, and it's like close games across the board, right? Even the wins are all close. Then I go to UAB, and it's like I see 106-87 loss.
Yeah, no, I mean again, San Diego State's a younger team because a lot of kids graduated from their team that made the Final Four last year. But they, when your program and your coach and everybody have been through this tournament multiple times, it usually allows them to survive the first week because they understand.
Survive.
Yeah, that's all for the top seeds. That's all this is. If you're a top 5 seed, all this is just survive.
Yeah.
If you can survive the first weekend, that's the big one. It's not just the first round; it's the first weekend. But if you can survive it, then anyone who makes the Sweet 16 has an actual chance, in my opinion.
So now we get to Auburn, Yale. I don't think I need to talk too much on this one because I know that Vermont ain't great, and they lost to Vermont. They lost to Gonzaga. They lost to Kansas. They lost to Princeton. They lost to Cornell.
You're talking about Auburn.
No, I'm talking about Yale. So I mean, I'm. This is another one. I'm just gonna kind of quickly just. Yep, I'm gonna go 4-seed Auburn.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm rooting hard for Yale. Gonna root hard for them. This is not the matchup the Ivy League wanted. That's damn sure.
BYU.
Duquesne.
Yeah, Duquesne.
The S is silent. It's in Philly.
Oh.
I don't know if it's in Philly. I made that.
I made that bar term. I think
this could be a really good game.
They played Dayton 3 times in the last 3 months.
Who?
Duquesne has.
They're in the same conference.
Yeah, 112 on my birthday. They played on my birthday.
All that matters. Who won the last one, Colin?
Duquesne did.
Yeah, they did. Duquesne's a good team. They're a sneaky good team. Again, they're one of those teams that you go, look at the last month. How have they played in the last month? And then you look and you're like, they got a lot of wins in that last month.
You know what? I
was
going to say, just from this analysis right here, I'm going to, reading this, it's like, okay, so it says the Dukes held off VCU to take the Atlantic 10 tournament title, and in doing so, extending their winning streak to 8 games. It's hard to enter the big dance with more momentum than that. Right there, that just made my choice, because I genuinely wasn't sure on this one. That just made my choice. I'm going Duquesne.
Yeah. Now, it's a dangerous game, because BYU is one of those teams that's really streaky.
Yes.
They're shooter-centric. Live by the three type of team, fast pace, all that stuff. So if Duquesne plays Atlantic 10 style of basketball, which is usually slow pace, we're just gonna grind this thing out, then they'll be fine. But if they try to play at BYU's tempo, they don't have the scorers to compete with them on that level. So it's a good game.
I mean, mind you, this is also from 11-6, 11-10, but I'm seeing Illinois, Morehead State. Morehead lost 2 games by 30 points, both games. Like I said, this is both in 11. It's both very early in the season, right? However, no, Illinois.
Morehead State's a sexy pick for a lot of people just because of their name, because they're like always in the
I was gonna say the name is that name sounds familiar to me.
Yeah, they're in the tournament a lot, and so people sit there. Illinois is an up and down team. Illinois again was another one that started the year really highly ranked, kind of fell off in the Big Ten. But they caught their fire. They just won the Big Ten title, which a lot of people say the Big Ten is one of the best basketball conferences in the league. So if that's the logic we're going off of, then Illinois shouldn't struggle with Morehead State.
So now we go to Washington State, Drake, and I'm telling you right now, I'm not even. I'm going Drake.
Why are you going Drake?
Well, 1, the record is better. 2, Tucker DeVries is a stud. And 3, there's a bulldog in their logo.
Mm-hmm. So There
Oh,
is one thing
they're not great defensively.
I will forewarn you on this one thing, okay? And this is take it or leave it.
Hmm.
Washington State's defense, they might be the best defensive team in the country. They are very good on defense to the point where they beat number 2 Arizona a bunch of times this year. But there are some games where their offense is just anemic. They just all of a sudden you're like, where'd you go?
Where'd you go, little buddy?
You guys forget how to score? Like, what happened here?
And
um, obviously, so if this game is true, if it's in the 40s,
mhm.
I think Drake will win it. But if this game gets pushed up into, or I'm sorry, if it's in the 40s or low 50s, I think Washington State wins it because that means Drake's having difficulty with their defense. But if this game gets pushed into the 60s and 70s, I think that's when you're like, all right, Drake's going to end up pulling away with this thing. But it's another intriguing one, this 10-7 matchup. Although a lot of people usually pick upsets in the 10-7, the 7 seed, for the most part, usually, it's at a much higher clip than you'd think that the 7 seed wins. The 11 beats the 6 more often than the 10 beats the 7, which is kind of weird.
Makes sense. I mean, yeah.
Drake's a solid pick. I mean, they're good. They got that one dude. Like we said, when you have that one dude,
When you have that guy,
you got a chance.
So now is it Iowa State, San Diego State Jackrabbits? For anyone that doesn't know,
Are you finishing a whole bracket, or are you going straight down? What are you doing?
I'll go straight down and then go back up.
Okay, cool. So you're gonna do all of the round of 64 first?
Yeah.
Got it. All right. So Iowa State, San Diego State. This is a no-brainer.
Yeah, this is a no-brainer. First of all, I just want to let everyone know that when there was the video game, the college basketball video game, we always picked the Jackrabbits. That was the team that we played as. So I want to pick the Jackrabbits because of that. But yeah, no, I'm going Iowa State. This is just no. So now we go down to the West. So in the West, we got North Carolina versus doesn't matter North Carolina.
First off, I think it's how Howard and Wagner kudos to them for winning their conference titles with 500 records. They got hot, and their play-in game is going to be awesome. I have a feeling that game might be one of the best games of the tournament.
Okay,
but yeah, they have no fucking chance. They're going to lose by about 45 points.
So then we go Mississippi State, Michigan State. And I'm going to go with Mississippi State.
Hot team versus just a well-known name. Again, Michigan State's another one of those teams. They were ranked. They're always ranked at the beginning of the year, and they always suck at the beginning of the year.
Yes,
makes no sense why they keep ranking them.
The only thing that is not great is notable results. 2-3 loss, 227 loss, 3-2 loss, 315 win, 316 loss. So there's a lot of losses here from Michigan State. But there was something that they had said in one of the videos that I watched. They said something about Mississippi State and about how they're just a physical team as well. Where Michigan State is basically just kind of like almost there just because it's Michigan State, like that sort of thing.
So Mississippi State's the team. They in the tournament, in the SEC tournament, they shell shocked Tennessee, and Tennessee was ranked number 5 in the country or something like that.
Okay.
And they were so much more physical. They held Tennessee to 12 points in the first half or something like that.
Damn.
But it was unbelievable how much of a blowout it was. It was crazy. But yeah. So
now this is where things get tough for me, because now we're going to St. Mary's versus Grand Canyon. Because
this is a very tough game.
Because normally
Grand Canyon's good.
Well, that's the thing, is normally, and you know this from past history of me doing this and just me just talking college basketball, I normally always go St. Mary's. I normally always have gone St. Mary's.
And this is the year 2, because St. Mary's is good.
They're good, but they got a shit draw having to play Grand Canyon.
They finally got over the Gonzaga hump. And yeah, then they get to play Grand Canyon, who's one of the best scoring teams in the country.
Yeah, just So with that being said, it's a 5-12. Because of it being a 5-12, I'm sorry, St. Mary's. I'm going Grand Canyon.
See, I went with St. Mary's just because I feel like this is a destiny team right now. Like, whenever a team struggles for so long and then they finally get over the hump, I feel like
I can't. I'm going St. Mary's. I can't. I've
like
just
they finally beat Gonzaga in the WAC.
Yep.
Like or whatever conference they're in. I don't know if it's the WAC.
I have no idea.
I fucking don't remember which one it is. But they finally beat them, and then just to lose, like, come on, no, they're not doing that.
Alabama Charleston. Oh, I'm going Bama. I'm not even looking anymore. All I looked at was Renee Smith and Antti Zankovic. Points per game, 12.8, 12.3. Alabama, Mark Spears, 21.1. Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Alabama.
Alabama played zero defense whatsoever.
Alabama.
They're
just like their football program recently. Got it.
No, dude, seriously, like this is Alabama. They'll play a game and you'll be like, oh, they're the best team in the country. The very next night, they'll look like the worst team that's ever played basketball. Jesus. You're like, what the hell? It's unbelievable. Like, they'll all of a sudden, like, they don't. It's like they don't give a shit about the basketball. They turn it over so much. Like, they just. But at the same time, there are some nights where they're just like, nah, we're gonna drop 100 this game. And you're like, what? You're like, what?
Wait, what? That's Clemson, New Mexico. I'm going New Mexico.
It's a good pick.
I'm going New Mexico. I like it. Says they're off a fresh surprise title win. They're on a hot start. They boast one of the best offenses. They take care of the ball. Yeah, I'm down.
This is a very popular upset pick. Very popular one.
And I'm not doing it anymore. Then I'm going to.
The nice thing with New Mexico too, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it makes it a little bit harder. They really didn't play anyone that's that great, but they did play. They played a bunch of tournament teams like San Diego State. They beat them. Utah State's in this. They beat them. Colorado State, Boise State. Like they've had wins against all of them. Also lost. They've lost to all of them except for San Diego State. They own San Diego State, but they've won these games. So, and Clemson seems to, whenever they had a big game, they lost. So it's like, I don't know.
Clemson. Baylor, Colgate. I'm going Baylor.
You going Baylor?
I'm going Baylor.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
I don't know what Megan was thinking. Baylor's they're a very good basketball team.
Dayton, Nevada. I think Nevada's overrated. I'm going Dayton.
See, I do like Nevada in this one. I think Dayton's the team that's overrated. High fly in Dayton. Basketball blows. So
they're strong from beyond the 3-point arc, Rob. That's all I need to know there.
All they do is either dunk or shoot threes.
Just send it. Arizona versus Long Beach State.
Yeah, next.
Don't want to sound mean, but that sounds like the equivalent of the football one there. What was that one that we had for a little bit? That they made the show out of.
They made the show All American. That one?
No, where they went and played like where they went and played like the fake team.
You mean like the program?
Yeah, and yes, but it was like real life though. And that dude made a fake team, traveled the U.S.
Oh.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
That's what Long Beach State. Just the name and like the look of the colors there. That's what that looks like to me. Going to the south. Okay, we go all the way back up to the south now. Houston, Longwood. Don't even need to think about it. I'm going to Houston. Nebraska, A&M. Going Nebraska. Nebraska strong. Good team this year. Strong.
They are. They are a good team this year.
I like it.
That's a pick'em game. Like, we'll see how it ends up, but that can go either way.
Wisconsin, JMU.
Yeah, this sucks for JMU
It
because
does.
Wisconsin. This would have been fine a week ago because Wisconsin was struggling, and then they got to the tournament and fucking upset the Purdue, cost Purdue a #1 overall seed. Like, all of a sudden, Wisconsin woke up and started playing good basketball. So I was like, God damn it! I mean,
JMU has never not been playing good basketball, so JMU is winning.
It's definitely a game that could happen. It's just wild that they literally freaking screwed over. They did this to a 3-loss JMU team, and then you're gonna get them. Have fun.
Yep, I'm all on the JMU train. JMU all day. Duke, Vermont.
Another one. Vermont is good, dude. I watched that game. They do go through these lulls in scoring, but their defense, oh my god, it's incredible. They force turnovers left and right. Like, they are a very physical defense. They've got some big transfers from some bigger schools. They're a good team. But it's Duke.
So that's the thing. It's Duke or where I'm from, and because I am dumb, I'm going Vermont. They're immediately losing to JMU, mind you, but I'm going Vermont.
So this is where Colin's gonna probably lose some points here. There's no way both JMU and Vermont win.
Texas Tech, NC State. I honestly don't know anything about either one of these because they didn't say. I don't.
So NC State they got hot. Like, they weren't gonna make the tournament, and then they won the ACC title. Like, they went out and they beat North Carolina. They beat Duke. They just all of a sudden were like, oh yeah, by the way, we are good. But they were supposed to be really good. They have this center, DJ Burns Jr. He's literally Zach Randolph reincarnated. He plays zero defense, and all he does is post up, and he's got zero ball control skills, but the ball goes in the hoop somehow all the time. Like, he doesn't miss. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
they are very hot. Like,
I was gonna say
when does the ACC champion ever be an 11 seed?
Yeah,
that shows you how inconsistent they were all year long.
Yeah, and I was gonna say I read through it. It's like, well, what to make of this? They started 11-3. It's like, awesome. Then they drop 11 of the next 17. Not awesome. Then they go on a shocking 5-game run in the ACC tournament, including wins over Duke and UNC. It's like, well, there we go.
Insane.
Done. Done.
It makes no sense.
Done. NC State. Kentucky versus Oakland.
Yeah. Sucks for Oakland.
I like that mascot though. I do want to take a look because I want to see the Golden Grizzlies challenge themselves in non-conference. Oh, okay, that's not a great way to start this.
They did. They played Ohio State. They lost. They played Illinois. They lost. They played Drake. They lost.
Wow. The Grizzlies make nearly 9 3-pointers per game. God damn.
They do.
I'm gonna go Kentucky. I don't know enough about that one. Florida versus Boise, Colorado State.
Who do you think is going to win that game?
Well,
Boise or Colorado State.
I was gonna say it doesn't give me the option to pick, and it doesn't give me the option to preview either, which is kind of wild.
They're both pretty much the same team, honestly.
I'm gonna go Colorado State just because I like Colorado State more than Boise.
That's who I think is going to win as well.
Did I pick the other? Did I say about the other ones? I mean, then Howard Wagner. That doesn't matter.
Yeah, you said no one gives a shit.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. They're gonna lose. I see this thing. They said Florida. I'm gonna go with the 10 seed here.
You're gonna go with that's who I did. Same thing.
And then Marquette. What does Marquette? Marquette. I don't know if everyone knows this or not. Marquette is a college school.
It's a college school.
That is a quote from 2 years ago when I did this with Rob.
It is a very very well known basketball school. Where Dwayne Wade went.
Yeah, it was the what was it? Something happened, and I was like I'm gonna pick Marquette, and you're like, do you know who Marquette is? It's like, yeah, Marquette's a college school.
They are a college school.
Purdue versus, what is that, Middle Tennessee State or Grambling? Is that the two picks there? Because it just says MTST on mine. I have no. Oh, I'm gonna assume I'm gonna say Grambling's gonna win that, but then Purdue's gonna win after that though. So.
Yeah, Purdue, none of those teams have anyone that can match up with Zach Edey, who's 7'5" and.
Oh, good.
Zach Edey's fucking. How he moves at his size is unbelievable.
So now Utah State TCU. Now one of the things that I saw on this is that one, Utah State being an 8 seed is kind of a slap, and two, TCU being a 9 seed is kind of a slap because they shouldn't be a 9 seed.
Mm-hmm.
So, I am going Utah State.
Yeah, I think this is a pick'em game. Both these offenses light up the fucking scoreboard. Like, they're very good.
All right, you ready for the craziness to begin now?
I mean, there shouldn't be for the next 3 games, but sure.
All right, Gonzaga versus McNeese State. I'm going McNeese State.
Wow.
Boom. Gonzaga is too up and down this year. You don't know which version you're getting of them.
That is true. But you also don't know. Do you know anything about McNeese?
They win the turnover battle. They're a tough team. 4 of their 5 shooters are better than 40% for the 3-pointers. And they're 30-3, Rob. That's the biggest thing I need to know is they're 30-3.
They are 30-3.
Shadow Wells has a 17.8 points per game.
That is a hell of a name, Shadow Wells.
So yeah, no, I'm going McNeese. I as soon as they said it, they were like they're physical. Or they did a bunch of other stuff. They do some things that I remember. So yeah, that was one of the ones that I remember writing down. And then the next one is Kansas Samford, and I'm going Samford.
But Kansas is another team. They're so up and down. It makes no sense.
They call it Buckyball, an up-tempo system with frequent substitutions. 10 players average at least 12 minutes per game.
Well, that's fucking wild. I'm excited to see that.
I was gonna say, yeah. I feel like I just told Rob something he didn't know.
No, yeah. Usually with these underdog teams, right? If they actually go on a run, they have like 6 players and that's it.
Yeah, no. So this says that they have 10 players.
That's the crazy part. NC State only plays like 6 people.
Jeez.
Like no one else plays.
Well, so it says the Bulldogs average 86 points per game, 10 3-pointers per game, and 40% from beyond the arc. They also force turnovers at a high rate and cashes in on the other end.
You just say 40% from behind the arc?
That's what it says.
I might have to go back and change mine.
Yes, I'm going Samford though. There, and also I love the fact that in my bracket I have McNeese and Samford, so the 12 and 13. I like that. So,
Samford might be a hell of a pick. Shit.
South Carolina, Oregon. You know what? I'm gonna go with Oregon. I'm gonna go with the Ducks. Quack, quack, quack.
All right.
I really don't know.
I think it's a pick'em game, honestly. I think they're both very good. So,
Creighton versus Akron. Creighton.
Yeah, Akron's not good.
I mean, Akron does have a player named Ali.
Yeah.
I do like that, but that's not enough to help me pick over. Texas versus Virginia or CSU. That can't be Colorado State, because we already did Colorado State, right? Or is that Colorado? No, CSU.
It is Colorado State. The other one's Colorado, I believe.
Oh. Did I pick that one? Did I pick those guys? No. Did I pick the one up here? I know I picked one of... Oh, I did it right there. That 10. All right, well, we're going to do this one, too. We're going to pick this one over Texas. Texas just got good at football, which means they're no longer good at basketball.
They never really were good at basketball, so.
Oh, there we go then. This is the final nail in the coffin. And then Tennessee, St. Peter's, Tennessee.
St. Peter's is the team that made the run. They were the true underdog.
I like that. Never mind. Go to St. Peter's.
You sure? Because
Yep.
St. Peter's fucking is not good.
Cinderella is back. Their logo looks awesome.
Yeah, the Peacocks.
It's a peacock. Yep, I'm going St. Peter's. All right, so now what? It's round of 32?
Yep.
All right, so I got UConn at FAU. Going UConn. San Diego's.
That'd be a good game, though.
It will be. UConn is, like, in my opinion, is one of those things where every one seed in this is beatable right now to me. Like easily beatable. UConn's the one that isn't.
Yeah, I can agree.
San Diego State, Auburn. I'm going San Diego State. How do we say this one again?
Duquesne
versus Illinois. You know what? Illinois.
Are you riding with Meg on the Duquesne train?
Illinois. Oh, Rob, I looked, and it's Terrence Shannon is averaging 23 points per game. I can't not pick that. That's 23 points. What I will say, though, is this. Drake versus Iowa State. Drake.
I'm kind of all in on the Samford train right now. You got me excited for that one.
All right. North Carolina, Mississippi State, North Carolina. St. Mary's, Alabama. St. Mary's. New Mexico versus Baylor.
I hope it is St. Mary's versus Bama, because I think that will be an excellent basketball game.
Well, then we go New Mexico, Baylor, and I'm going New Mexico.
They could. They're battle tested.
Dayton, Arizona. This is where Dayton's little train, little fun ends right there. That's it. It ends. Houston, Nebraska. Just for shits and giggles, Nebraska.
Houston's one of the 3 favored teams to win the whole thing.
Nebraska. James Madison versus Vermont. James Madison. NC State, Kentucky. No, I'm going to go NC State.
I like how you said Texas just got good at football, so they can't be at basketball, but you're all on the James Madison train, and they just got good at football.
Nah, they've always been. That's fake news. Marquette versus whoever the hell wins this game. Marquette. And then now we go to the Midwest, and the Midwest is Purdue, Utah State. You know what? Rob? We're going to do it again. Utah State over Purdue.
Honestly, if there is a team, the teams that can beat Purdue are going to be the teams that shoot threes.
Now I'm going
to... No one's going in there to body Zach Edey. If you can get Zach Edey to have to go cover people outside, you can win.
I'm going to leave this one.
Wisconsin just sat there and said, "Yeah, come out here, big boy.
Come out here, big
boy."
I'm going to leave this one for right now. We'll come back to this one in a second. We're going to go Oregon, Creighton. It's going to be Creighton. And then I think it's going to be Virginia that will win this game versus St. Peter's. And you know what? Cinderella story continues. Have I done a Cinderella story continues yet?
Yeah, you have James Madison in there.
No, we have not. This is a 15 seed, Rob. St. Peter's continues this magical thing. But now we have the problem. Now we have McNeese State versus Samford. This is the problem.
This is the problem right here.
This is the problem.
One.
So here's the thing, okay? McNeese State, winning the turnover battle is not just a football thing. It's what Will Wade's Cowboys do. They are among the nation's best in points off turnovers, also in limiting mistakes offensively. 4 of their top 5 scorers shoot better than 40% from 3-point range. It's hard not to notice the 30-3 record, but the reason McNeese isn't a better seed, is an underwhelming schedule. The Cowboys didn't face a team that made this year's NCAA tournament. So we're about to see how they handle the bright lights as a trendy upset pick. Versus what I said about Stanford earlier, which made Rob now a huge fan. The Bulldogs aren't a strong rebounding team and have never won an NCAA tournament game, but opponents would be wise to not sleep on them. I'm a big fan, and Rob can attest to this. I'm a big fan of nicknames for stuff. So when they say they call it Buckyball, that makes me think of Beamer Ball. And I liked Beamer Ball back in the day for Virginia Tech. Made me a Virginia Tech fan for a little bit. So with that being said, sorry McNeese, Buckyball continues right here. Sweet 16. Oh, so the round of Sweet 16, Rob. Here we go. You ready?
Now remember, this is a whole week off between the round, so any momentum that teams got is usually back to neutral.
Done.
Okay?
Got it. Okay, so everything's neutral now.
This is why it's so hard for those Cinderella. Like, it's so impressive that Cinderella stories make it to the second weekend. It can actually, like, that's why I think, who was it? It was St. Peter's a couple years ago where they won the Sweet 16.
Yep.
And lost the Elite Eight. George Mason back in the day, they made it all the way to the Final Four. You were like, holy crap! Like, how are these guys keeping it going? Like,
so this is my. Is this my Elite Eight? Yes, this is my Elite Eight. No. Yes.
Still on the Sweet 16.
Sweet 16. Okay. UConn, San Diego State. I like San Diego State, but like I said earlier, I just think UConn is just too much of a powerhouse and will not be stopped. Will not, cannot. Illinois, Drake. You know what? This is gonna be my team. This is gonna be one of my teams. I'm gonna go Drake. I'm gonna continue this Drake train.
The Drake train's coming.
The Drake train's coming. They got a 6'7" big man out here.
That's not tall.
I know, but he's a big man, Rob. Doesn't mean he has to be tall. You're a big man, right?
Just make sure you know that's not tall in college basketball.
Well, he's averaging almost 7 rebounds per game. For almost 4 assists.
The two guys from Creighton are 6'10" and 6'11".
Yeah, I haven't gotten there yet, Rob, alright? So now I'm just going to do the South because the South is on my screen right now. So I'm just going to do this one. Nebraska, James Madison. I'm gonna go Nebraska at this point. And then Marquette for Marquette, NC State. Then we go all the way down to the bottom, so we're going to go to the West. UNC versus St. Mary's. I'm going to go UNC. And then New Mexico versus Arizona. I'm going to go New Mexico. Like I said, I like the New Mexico team. I like it. Well-balanced, experienced group. Led by Caleb Love. Done.
Caleb Muff.
All right, that's... Wait, why are they showing me Arizona's thing? That's not what I wanted to see. Oh, that's upsetting, because now it makes me want to pick a Caleb Love team. God damn it. I'm not, though. I'm sticking to my guns. Samford versus Utah State. If this happens, I think this is another just absolute banger of a game. But this is Buckyball time, so Buckyball continues on. And then we go Creighton, St. Peter's. We're going Creighton. All right, so my Elite Eight is Samford, Creighton, UNC, New Mexico, Nebraska, Marquette.
All right.
All right, so here we go.
That's okay. Like, that one's okay because you've got the core is still strong there. Like, the people you should be picking to win are still at a good spot. Like UConn. So UConn. Like, you don't have St. Peter's as trying to fucking win. Like, you don't have something like that.
Well, I guess the thing is, like, especially like now, because it's like now it's like UConn. Well, UConn ends this fairy tale. Marquette ends this fairy tale.
Yeah, it's
UNC
I
ends the fairy tale. However, Buckyball makes it to the Final Four, beating Creighton in a massive wild upset.
It'd be wild because you said they don't rebound well, so they better shoot lights out.
They don't need to shoot lights out, Rob. They just need all 20 of their players to shoot lights out, all right?
Yes.
That's it, so.
Especially when you can only have 15. Yes, they need all 20 to
exactly.
shoot lights out.
They're going to bring back all the old-timers for this one. All right, so.
I don't think they want the old-timer.
All right, so. UConn versus North Carolina, 1v1. UConn.
You have a very similar Final Four to me, I think.
Marquette versus Samford. This one's going to be actually a little bit tough for me. You know why it's tough? Because it's tough being able to move my cursor so fast to pick Samford. It's tough moving that fast.
It's going to be so upsetting when Samford is in the first round for you.
Yes, it is, because guess what, Rob? If there's one team to beat UConn this year, you know who it's going to be?
Creighton. Creighton did it.
It's going to be this Bulldog right here. This Bucket Bulldog. And I'm picking him. I'm picking him to win. And the score is going to be... How many total points will be scored?
Yeah, you don't pick the score. You pick total points.
7. Technically, I'd be right if I pick this. At least 7 points will be scored. I'm going to go with 123. 108. Nope.
Go with 123. 108. Yes.
141. There you have it. The effing titles. March Madness bracket. Done. Go Samford Bulldogs. Rob, what do you think of my I kind of know what I'm talking about league this year?
I mean, the Samford thing's ridiculous, but other than that, this is one of the most intelligent ones you've done. Minus the Samford thing. So yeah, not bad.
Bucket ball. That's all I gotta say. Bucket ball. Let us know what you guys think. Let me know who you guys have doing stuff, and I can't wait to see everyone else's brackets, and hopefully everyone has a good time watching this. I'm gonna be excited because I'm gonna actually watch as much of this as I can. So, thank you all for stopping by, hanging out. Hopefully you guys all liked it and had some fun. And depending on where you are, morning, after, even night, stay safe, and we'll talk to you all later. Bye. Bucky ball, Rob. Bucky ball.